When we look at the geologic timescale, here we're breaking down Earth's entire history, all 4.5 billion years, down into smaller units of time. So we're going to see that the largest periods of time in Earth's history, we call these eons. And Earth has had 2 eons in total. The longest eon is called the Precambrian eon. But we currently live in a smaller eon called the Phanerozoic that began about 542 million years ago. And the reason why we break the Earth into these 2 different eons is because at 542 million years ago, now organisms suddenly evolved hard parts. And with those hard parts, they're being preserved as fossils. So during the Phanerozoic eon, the last 542 million years, we have tons of fossils. We have a good idea of what Earth was like during this time. But before this, during the Precambrian eon, because life didn't have any hard parts, it was things like jellyfish and worms that generally weren't preserved. Even though this is 4 billion years of Earth's history, we don't know a whole lot about it because we don't have fossils from it. So our greatest eon is the Precambrian, and we live in the Phanerozoic. But because we have so many fossils from this Phanerozoic, we can break it down into 3 smaller eras. And we call these the Paleozoic, the Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic eras. And then we can further divide each of these areas into periods, but we're not going to get into that. What I want you to know are our eons, the Precambrian making up 4 billion years of Earth's history, and then our current Phanerozoic. That's then broken into 3 smaller eras, the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. So, again, most of Earth's history, 4 billion years, happens during the Precambrian. This is 87% of Earth's history, but we don't have many fossils whatsoever about this time, because for a large portion, Earth was not really capable of having life. For a long period of time, we didn't have solid rocks above the surface, or we would go through hundreds of millions of years with constant rainfall. So with the Precambrian, again, this is 88% of all of geologic time. They're broken down into smaller periods of Earth history as well, but we're not going to focus on those. Instead, we're going to focus on the Phanerozoic, the period in Earth's history that we're currently in after the Precambrian. And we'll see that the Phanerozoic eon is broken down into 3 smaller eras. And we're going to start working from the past up to the present. So the Paleozoic era happened first, and this is the first era of the Phanerozoic eon, or the current period of Earth's history that we're currently in. And what makes the Paleozoic so special is this is the first time ever in Earth's history that animals have hard parts. They're getting bones and teeth and shells. And all of those hard parts are capable of leaving fossils behind. So we have a better idea of what kind of life existed and the different environments that life existed in. But the Paleozoic era ended with climate change. We'll see that all of the major periods where we've had mass extinction in Earth's history have always happened around climate change. And the Paleozoic is the first. It happened due to climate change where we had increased volcanism, where more carbon dioxide was released into the atmosphere by volcanoes, making the planet too warm and life couldn't exist. So a mass extinction occurred. But after this mass extinction, it started the Mesozoic era. And the Mesozoic era is probably the most famous period of Earth's history, because this is when we had dinosaurs. In geology, we call the Mesozoic the Age of Reptiles. This is the first time in Earth's history where life has transitioned from water onto land. And we're going to see that life very quickly becomes massive in size. We can have dinosaurs that are hundreds of tons and hundreds of feet long. But in addition to our dinosaurs, trees evolved during the Mesozoic. We also see amphibians like frogs. But yet again, we're going to see that the end of the era is going to happen due to a mass extinction. This time it's caused by an asteroid strike that killed off all of the dinosaurs, but the asteroid strike caused massive climate change, which also led to this mass extinction. But after this mass extinction, we're going to enter in our Cenozoic era, the era that we currently live in. And the Cenozoic era is known as the Age of the Mammals. While it's sad and unfortunate that the dinosaurs went extinct at the end of the Mesozoic, it's really fortunate because it allowed mammals to flourish. Mammals grew larger in size, and now we basically dominate the entire Earth. But during the Cenozoic, we also see that grass evolves. My biggest beef with the Jurassic Park movies is that grass is everywhere. And grass did not yet exist during the Mesozoic. It didn't come around until the Cenozoic. But there's also us and agriculture and human civilization. But like we see in a lot of previous periods of Earth's history that ended in massive climate change, we're currently in our 6th major mass extinction on the planet. We're commonly seeing more animals and plants go extinct due to climate change because of our use of fossil fuels, adding carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and making our Earth warm up.